Introducing Neil Cardoso and Luke Tan from Eastlake High School. Thanks for being here, guys.
We're excited to be here. Theater has such a rich history, and these superstitions have been around for centuries. I can't wait to get into them.
Same here. Some of these traditions seem bizarre at first, but when you dig deeper, they make a lot of sense.
Let's start with one of the most famous superstitions, the Macbeth curse. It's considered bad luck to say the name of the play in a theater unless you're performing it. Instead, actors like to call it the Scottish play or McSlay. Neil, do you know what the story is behind this?
This one is intense. Legend has it that Shakespeare used actual witch incantations in the play, which supposedly angered real witches. Some believe this led to a curse, causing accidents, injuries, and even deaths in productions over the years. One of the earliest incidents happened in 1606 when an actor playing Lady Macbeth suddenly died. Since then, there have been all kinds of strange occurrences, from fires to actors mysteriously falling ill.
That's really chilling. And if someone does slip up and say the name, there's a ritual to reverse the curse, right? Luke, do you know what that is?
Oh, absolutely. The person has to leave the theater, spin around 3 times, spit over their left shoulder, and say a curse word before being let back in. It sounds silly, but the actors take it seriously.
And have any of you guys said the word before?
I have, actually. I had to run 3 laps around my theater. That's why I say Mackers right now. Don't say Don't say the full thing.
Yep, that is one way to avoid it. Moving on, another common theater phrase is break a leg instead of good luck. Neil, you've been in a lot of plays. Do you know why actors say this?
There are a few theories. The one I've heard the most is that people bow at the end, or they break the line of their leg after a great performance, and after multiple, their leg might start to be tired since they've done so many bows. So saying break a leg is like wishing them success. Another theory is that spirits might reverse good wishes, so like counteract the bad stuff. So saying something negative might actually bring good luck. Interestingly, different cultures have their own phrases. In Italy, they say in bocca al lupo, meaning in the mouth of the wolf, and good luck. And the response is crepi il lupo, or may the wolf die.
Wow, that is one way to say it. Have you guys ever heard of this saying before?
I have not. I know the French say "oh merde," which is "oh shit," to wish good luck. To wish good luck. It's actually a thing, but I've never heard of the Italians doing this. I trust that they do it.
Yep. If anyone can do theater right, it's probably the Italians, right?
Yeah. Pizza.
Moving on, let's talk about the ghost light. Many theaters leave a stage light on stage overnight. Luke, do you know what the reason is behind this?
It serves a practical purpose to prevent people from tripping in the dark, but there's also a superstition. Some believe that the ghost lights keep spirits company so they don't get restless and cause trouble. Many theaters are rumored to be haunted, like London's Drury Lane Theatre, where actors have reported seeing the Man in Grey, a mysterious specter.
Have you guys ever heard of, have you ever seen a ghost before?
I don't believe I have.
I remember one time, like Neil, you might remember this. In drama 1, Miss Wold was saying that there was there were noises in the theater.
A ghost in the theater, yeah.
Yeah, a ghost in the theater.
I think there are plenty of ghost stories in our theater,
yeah,
especially with the lights turning off.
What was Eastlake ghost again? It was like John or something. It had a name.
She had some name for it.
Yeah. Speaking of backstage rules, whistling is a big no-no in theaters. Neil, do you know where that comes from?
It actually dates back to when sailors worked as stagehands. They used to whistle signals, so an accidental whistle could trigger the wrong cue and cause dangerous set malfunctions. Even today, many actors avoid whistling backstage, maybe from tradition, maybe they pick it up and just know not to whistle.
Interesting. Do you guys whistle, or have you seen people whistling?
I don't
personally
whistle
have.
backstage.
You've whistled backstage?
How dare you?
He's breaking the superstition. This guy. Okay.
How dare he?
The ghosts are gonna catch on to him soon.
Yeah.
And then also, another tradition is giving flowers to actors, but only after the performance. Now, giving flowers to people is a very common occurrence, right? but we've never really stopped to question it. So, Luke, do you want to take a stab at it?
Well, giving flowers before a show is seen as bad luck because it's seen as bad luck, almost like celebrating a victory before it happens. Also, in older times, actors were given funeral flowers at the end of a show's run, symbolizing the death of the production. So, flowers before a performance, big superstition.
And building off of that, there's another superstition that I find really interesting. Peacock feathers and mirrors on stage are considered unlucky. Neil, once again, you've been in a lot of plays, you've seen a lot of stuff. Do you know why the story is?
Well, I personally know that having a mirror on stage is bad luck, or anything reflective, because it shines different lights and messes with light effects that might distract the audience or actors on stage, which is not great. Recently, I heard of the peacock feathers, which are supposed to contain an evil eye that brings misfortune, so also not great for a production.
Interesting. And then another lesser-known superstition is that rehearsals shouldn't end on an odd line. Luke, do you know why that is?
Well, it's believed that even numbers bring harmony, while odd numbers create imbalance. So ending a rehearsal on an odd line might leave things feeling unfinished or unsettled.
Have you guys ever felt this before? Have you ever done through a script where you felt
I have
an
not.
odd line
I
before?
actually have a question. Is this do they count the lines? Is this the 106th line?
I think
Or is
it
it
must
just,
be, right? Because
the wording?
I think what the superstition is saying is that each line each person says a line, and then each different line that a different person says.
And also, in Shakespeare, he has the iambic pentameter, which is the certain rhythm that he has, and if he breaks that rhythm, it's to show something different, or it shows that it's not a nice end to the story or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting plays that we're going to be covering soon on this podcast, so you guys should definitely follow if you haven't already. And finally, here's a cool tradition in French. In French theater called Les Trois Coupes, or the Three Knocks, it is a very interesting tradition, and I was wondering if you could explain this, Neil.
Sure. Before a performance begins, the stage manager knocks 3 times. This dates back to 17th century court theater, where the knock signaled the start of the show. It's a way to bring a sense of tradition and order before the curtain rises.
See, I've actually done this before, because my stage manager will sometimes they'll come on, they'll knock 3 times and then say 2 minutes to places or and that's a way to start the show. What about you guys? Have you guys felt that way?
I haven't noticed it.
Hasn't
personally.
really happened. Yeah, hasn't really happened to me. There's always the 2 minutes to places, whatever.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I believe that they use this and might use it now still.
Well, that's all my superstitions. This has been such a fun and eerie discussion. Theater traditions and superstitions add so much to the magic of performing. Thank you, Neil and Luke, for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this was great.
And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and let us know your favorite theater superstition. See you next time on Curtains Up.
Okay.
Yay.